Question 4 is a little bit better because there is an application to being able to see what two things multiply to give something else. And it involves factoring. And I think in this case, can you see that p of x, x squared minus 9, is a difference of squares? So what they would like you to do in this question is make one factor x plus 3, one factor x minus 3. Perfect. Can anybody see the cheating method where you make f of x exactly the same as what you want? What would g of x have to be then?
1.
1. That's perfectly fine. It's a right answer. But it goes against the purpose of the question. The purpose of the question was for you to see that you could factor. Okay? And in fact, the purpose of the question is kind of important for B. In fact, I'm going to show you an example of B which is not quite right, even though it looks like it's right, and why this answer for B I really like. You want q of x is x plus 1, so I make f of x x plus 1. What should I make g of x then? If it's going to equal x plus 1, what would I have to divide by? 1. And in fact, for me, this is the best answer. Because sometimes when people get creative, can you see that if I made my numerator x plus 1 times x plus 2, and I made my denominator x plus 2, with the x plus 2's would cancel out, right? And give me x plus 1. This is not quite right. Because if I had x plus 1, x plus 2, and had an x plus 2, what happens when I cancel the x plus 2? Graphically, I'd have to add a hole. Does this graph have a hole in it? No. So my answer here when I got creative is actually a little bit wrong. This part is the little bit wrong. If I had put just 3 and 3, no holes there, 3's would cancel out, that's perfectly fine. Again, they're not going to ask you this on the exam because they'd feel guilty taking off marks for a mostly right answer like this. There's a way where you don't have to be creative, which kind of defeats the purpose of the question. But what these questions 3 and 4 want you to see is that functions could be put together to get a new explicit equation. And just like what we did in example 2, once you get that new explicit equation, now you can use your skills at graphing that. And in example 1, we had piecewise functions. So it is not the end of the world worst question, but not super useful. But you can circle question 8.